before in high definition. This is Local Memphis Live. Now, here's your host, Amy Sparopoulos.
Good morning and welcome to Local Memphis Live. Living with diabetes is a challenge for anyone, but especially for kids and teenagers who often have special issues like dealing with blood tests and medication. Oftentimes it can lead to feelings of anger and frustration, but it doesn't have to. Our next guests want to help ease that stress for you and your kids. Welcome this morning, Madison Greer and Tara Carr from LeBonner Children's Research Hospital to tell us about a fabulous diabetes conference. Good morning to you. You know, I don't know the numbers, but I know that this is something that has been in the news definitely as of late, because we are definitely talking about it, which is great to continue that conversation, because it does, of course, raise awareness for kids living with it. Tell us a little bit about this conference.
So this is our 4th year to have the conference.
Okay.
It's the Back to School Diabetes Conference.
Right.
And our goal is really to educate the school nurses and teachers and the people in the school so that when these kids go back to school, they're really safe at school.
Right.
I love that you said that we're talking about it. Diabetes awareness is so important. So
it is.
That's our goal, really, to raise awareness and really educate the school staff that's going to be helping these kids out all year.
So what kind of things, when you say that, what kind of things does that entail? Does that entail going through like a case scenario with a child, maybe that they don't know has diabetes, or let's talk about that.
And so a big thing that we do is we have a school care plan that gives all those orders that nurse needs to follow at school, but what you learn in nursing school doesn't really cover everything there is to know about diabetes. Really, my parents and my kids with diabetes are my experts. The nurse, they're really having to learn from that family.
Okay.
And so we're trying to help the family talk with them, figure out, the best way for them to communicate.
Very
and just
good.
give those nurses extra tools, because you've got just so many different treatment plans.
Right,
Every child with diabetes has a different treatment. We've got all these new technologies coming out that even in a diabetes-specific role, I'm learning about new things every day. So these school nurses, they really need that introduction. So we do focused on that school care plan, diabetes technologies, different things like that.
How important is it for the parents of children with diabetes to to really sit down and have a conversation with not just the school nurse, but the teachers that your child has and the principal? Because, I've learned with having kids that you just don't ever know where your child's going to be when they have a situation that might come up like this.
I think that's one of the most important things, that communication, and we talk so much about that at the conference.
Right.
We have a panel of just teachers. We have people from all different areas, and we encourage them to set up something called a 504 plan at the beginning of the school year. So everyone, I don't care if it's the nurse, the homeroom teacher, even the food service staff, we want everyone in that room at the beginning of the year, and we talk about that at the conference, how to navigate that meeting to really set you up for success.
Okay, so it's called 504 plan? 504
plan, and any kid with diabetes, if you don't have one, school's coming up. Even if you can't come to the conference, I recommend talking to the school and getting that set up.
What is that? Can you run through some of that quickly?
So it's actually an Americans with Disabilities Act accommodation that children with diabetes qualify for.
Okay.
So it is actually a legal document that really figures out logistics of what's going to happen at school, because we know these things have to happen, but how best are we going to make them happen? So really we encourage everyone that's going to be involved with that child to come to this meeting. So like teachers, coaches, the school nurse, because they're going to really know the best way to do it. They're going to know if one thing doesn't work. If we say they need to come to you at lunchtime, they're going to know if it's not going to work for that kid.
Very good.
And really just figuring out what kind of independence that child can have, how much supervision they need. It's really a very important thing that we really want all of our kids to have.
Absolutely. And even talking to the child, the boy or girl himself, herself, and saying, talk to your teachers about this. Make sure they know. I know one of the things when my daughter went into 6th grade, she was the youngest at the middle school. She didn't even want to go to the bathroom. She was afraid to go to the bathroom. So, they're already going through some things with the school day and things like that. So you want to make sure the communication lines are open there with them and the teachers and the nurses and things like that.
Of course, yeah. We need the kids to advocate for themselves a little bit, but we need people to be looking out for them when they can't.
Very good. So how do people get involved? Where do they go? When is it? Tell us.
So this conference is August the 3rd. It's coming up pretty quick. The conference is going to be this year at the UT Alumni Center, which is just right around the corner from LeBonner downtown.
There it is, 800 Madison, and it's Friday, August 3rd from 7 to 1. So people need to register. That's the key, right?
Yes, and it's a $15 fee. And with that, you get breakfast and lunch, as well as 4 continuing medical education credits.
All right. Let me ask you ladies this, since you are in on diabetes education. Are we getting better? I don't know the numbers in front of me as far as juvenile diabetes, but I do feel like, particularly with Callie Compton, who was diagnosed Miss Memphis last year, I know she is really, you know, just put the conversation out there. She wore her insulin pump all throughout.
We love that.
Yes. Yeah. Are we better? Are we getting better as far as educating folks in the community?
So we make our whole point is to educate these families. They have a very intense education series right at first when they're first diagnosed. And really, it's just kind of dependent on the kids. Some kids, you know, they don't want to tell anyone they have diabetes.
Right.
I actually have type 1 diabetes myself as well, which is kind of why I went into diabetes education.
Very cool.
So I try to encourage them to don't be embarrassed about it. It's nothing wrong. It just means that you have diabetes. There's nothing different about you.
Yeah.
You're a normal kid.
Yeah.
Plus, you have this little extra something that can really make you a really cool, interesting person.
Yeah. I do think that she's helped. I do think that there are other public figures, folks in TV and radio and actors and actresses that have come forward that hopefully will help. So we certainly hope. Well, I know this will make a difference. So, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, absolutely. Coming up today on Local Memphis Live, we've got a great show for you. Take a look.